and this one's over. Well,
It's a little
you have yours,
bit.
Jeff, and Jeff and Doug have theirs, and that's for everyone, so.
Oh, did you print yours off?
You gave me
Did you
that.
get the notice about the townships outboard being up there?
Mr. President, are you ready?
I got, Deer Creek. I don't think I got the other two.
It's wonderful.
It's heavy, other than being heavy, it's.
Huh?
I have a feeling like Susan.
Does anybody need to take a break? Restroom break?
I don't know. Why do you think that?
Get started.
Well, because she said she had sent it to the hospital.
Susan would normally tell me about that. And given my recent
Can you check your?
littleness, I wouldn't say that she didn't. Because she's pretty good. I mean, it's like
I
she
sent it
goes,
to you,
you know, don't make me do it, don't make me do it.
2 days after you requested it.
I don't have access to that computer.
Oh.
But
Because
So,
it's over the board.
That happened about
I know.
And
3 months ago.
said nothing about saying, be careful, because,
so you can't get,
and when
if we do the
at least
master
two of
reset,
them
you can just come in here.
Mhm.
Try that.
I said,
From,
they
I can do it from what?
like to come.
So you just go to the website, put in the reset password that ran issue.
What's she got
and
against
then
How do
me?
I get, how do I get that?
What's she got against
That's
me?
what I sent to you.
To which email?
I sent it to whatever you requested.
I can't get to that anymore.
You sent it to me.
I can't get to it anymore.
I don't know that unless you tell me, so.
All right, we're gonna call the meeting to order for the, July 26th meeting of the Carroll County Area Plan Commission. First item is introduction of members.
Doug Walker, Emergency Schools. Jeff Watson, representative area plan.
Everett Snowberger, Town of Camden.
Randy Strasser, City of Delphi.
Teresa Maxwell, Carroll County Commissioners.
Cameron Yates, area plan director.
Cindy Harmon, legal counsel.
Okay, first item on the business is the minutes from the previous meeting, June 28th, 2022. Are there any additions, corrections to the minutes as presented?
I move we approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. Any discussion from the board? Hearing none?
Yeah. You don't, I don't think I'm on there, and I should have been.
Did I miss you?
I was here.
I'm sorry, I missed that. I read over. Add Doug. I move we approve the minutes as amended. Sorry, Doug, I missed, but I read right over the names and
Please,
didn't catch that.
technically, you have to withdraw your previous motion.
Oh, I move to withdraw my previous motion.
Okay, do we have a motion?
I move we accept the minutes as amended.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. Discussion from the board. Hearing none, call the question. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, first item on is, variance 2022-4, Feldhaus, and, it's, street address is 12506 North, 1225 West, Monticello. It's in Tioga Park. It's part of lot 1. Okay, variance development standpoint, Article 3, the sanitary sewers requesting a reduction in lot size from 6,000 square feet. Okay, do we have anyone here representing that? Please state your name.
My name's Dan Feldhaus.
Okay.
I've got the paperwork here for you, look at it, follow me or whatever. And
Thank you, sir.
tell you a little bit about me. I'm Dan Feldhouse. I've been a Carroll County resident for 28 years. 13 years at Rockfield, 15 years going right over the bridge. The checks that you see there, what I paid last year to the treasurer for property taxes. Page 3 and 4, are just a list of the property that I own in Carroll County. To let you know that I'm here, and I think I benefit the county. Number 5 is the 2 lots that I bought originally. Lot 1 is Tim's lot here, we built a house on it. The other one is my lot, and the back lot, okay? There's a road that splits them, and then the lake is top left, okay? So, if you look, you'll see the building setback lines. When I first purchased the property, it was about 800 square feet. Didn't build much of a house on it. If you flip the page 6, came in here, and BZA approved variance for that proposed building site. The lot was 6,260 square feet. Tim, the neighbor, he didn't have a problem with it. I discussed with Doug, I said, hey, I wanna make the back lot, try to make the lake accessible. So I went to SFLACC, and they said I could build a boat dock there. I'm gonna take 24 feet off of the main lake lot. It's about 88 feet long. SFLACC said, you can build a boat dock there, but you have to have a separate parcel. Can't be an easement or anything like that. So I went to Doug. I said, can I split this lot off? In the email on page 7, I emailed him and said, looks like SFLC is gonna let me do it, and I need to chunk that parcel off. And I need to get all the paperwork done so I can come in here in front of you guys and get it approved. And at the bottom of the email, it tells me that I didn't have to do that. Him and Cindy discussed it, said I could just split it off. This is back in 18. Instead of drawing for page 8, flip the page. Here's what I split off, that shows the split. That was approved. Nancy. Okay, that was in 18. So I didn't need there's 3 lots there now, okay, I don't need them anymore. So I put them all 3 up for sale. So 2 of them left me the building lot, I thought. Okay. It was brought to our attention that Carroll County has an ordinance or something, 6,000 square feet minimum, 60 feet wide, 6,000 square feet. I got a list of the realtor as a buildable lake lot. It's the last lake level parcel on Lake Freeman. It's only 5,400 square feet. So when I went to Doug, here's how I think the conversation should have went. Hey, Doug, because you get, I don't know the rules, okay? So I have to go to area plan, just like I did with Cameron. So I went to Doug, I said, can I split that buildable lot off? And I jumped through all the hoops, you guys agreed that it was a buildable, I could expand the footprint. So for 4 years, I've been thinking I got a buildable lot. So Doug, when I went to him, and he's a friend of mine, he should have said, you can split that lot. Because he told me, you split the lot, you're gonna have one buildable, non-buildable lot, the small. Okay. I assuming the other one was still buildable. So for 4 years, it was going buildable lot, so now they're for sale. And that's not a buildable lot, I went to Cameron, I said, I need clarification. And he said, I got bad news, not buildable. Fine. So Doug should have said, and I'm not hammering on Doug, I think it was just an oversight on his part. Dan, you can split the lot, but you're gonna have 2 non-buildable lots, so don't do that. Get your drawings, get everything in order, go to the BZA, see if they'll give you a variance before you split it, okay? You don't wanna lose the buildable lot, you just got it, zone, or the variance, so it'd be buildable, okay? So he should have said, you need to do that first. Well, he didn't, and I'm not blaming it on him. I think it was just an oversight. I just don't think he was focused on that. So, now I've sold the other 2 lots, now I'm in here to ask you to give me the 600 square feet variance, or the 5,400, so I can keep that as a buildable lot. I don't think it would really harm. The only thing we did was peel off 860 feet on the south end of it.
So is this lot 1A the one that's closest to the Tioga Bridge?
No,
There's a little tiny section that he referred to as the non-buildable.
Okay.
It's at 860 square feet, that's technically the closest.
yeah,
This one's right next to it.
So you sold, yeah, you sold lot 1,
no.
no, that's not
Joe
yours.
Schultz sold it
Okay.
to Tim, and Tim built a house.
So lot 1B is where you were gonna put the trailer court, or the trailer park,
No.
park your trailer there.
Correct.
And then you were gonna have family and friends stay there rent-free. That was in the,
Rent-free.
I looked back, you weren't to rent it out to
Yeah, it was-
meet people, it was to
Oh,
be
no,
the family and
right.
friend.
Yeah.
Cause I looked back in my stuff when we had this,
Yeah, but the,
so, yeah, that's the 1B.
That's
And
one.
there's just 2 little sheds on there now, there's no trailer parked on there,
well, I sold it.
okay,
My trailer's not, but it's zoned,
okay.
it's gonna sound odd, a 1-unit RV park.
Okay,
So, and then we got the special exception on it, whatever it was, that follows the property, but this is about the building lot that I thought I had.
yeah,
And I got it valued, listed for 160. If I don't get the variance, it'll go down to what, 15?
I've got a question, so, original, what you had in this drawing was lot 1A, was what we granted the variance on, and that's split off into 2 parcels with, 800 square feet.
Go to drawing 8, and that'll show you what it is.
Okay, right, okay, so, you have, part of lot 1A, 860 square feet, and then you have the balance of lot 1A, which was 5402 square feet, correct?
It was all one.
Yeah, it was 1, but it's been split in 2.
I took the 860 off.
Did 860 sell with lot 1B?
Correct.
For lake access.
Okay, for lake access.
But I built a dock.
Yeah, okay, so basically, all you have is 5402 square feet that you can build on, correct?
Yes, sir.
You know, and everything else that was originally yours has been sold.
Correct.
Okay.
And we haven't changed, the splitting off of that lot did not change any of the building setback lines.
Right.
It's still, and if you look at it from the light, well, if you look at it anywhere, it's not a small lot. It's a small, 5,400 square foot lot. The SFLEC comes way up into the lot. So it looks the same as all the lots down the road.
Right.
You wouldn't know the difference. So, So I'm here to ask, and again, and I'm not blaming it on Doug, but if he would have said in an email that's there,
Well, there's another question I've got, since the 860 square feet has been sold off, and lot 1B across the road to the southeast has been sold, where do you plan on parking vehicles? In other words, where would, you build I think the original house was for 3,200 square feet.
So lot one, where would you park the lots for lot one, where you proposing to build, correct?
Where you're proposing to build?
well, I'm not
Where-
building.
No, but this is a question that has to be answered. If you're gonna leave the footprint of the house the same on the variance, where would you park vehicles?
Just like everybody else along there. If we lined it up, say you lined the garage up with Tim's garage, okay, you got about 20 feet of parking plus whatever you get in the garage. Does that make sense?
Well,
If
that's
you
why I'm
look down the road,
why I'm asking, because, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, Jeff, but zoning ordinance requires two parking spots for residential.
Yeah, because that 5,400 square feet, you get 3,200 square foot house, you're seeing three sides.
Yeah.
well, you don't have to build a 3,000 square foot house. You can build a 1,500 square foot house.
You go 500 square foot house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
But there's plenty of room, there's a parking lot there that you can park 3 or 4 cars now
Where's it down this road?
between the road.
so what's the distance between this proposed footprint of house and the
20 feet, I think.
20 feet?
Same as
Road right of ways up here on the street,
Yeah.
so.
So,
Yeah, but there's a big driveway there. Would be bigger than Tim's.
yeah, but that doesn't show the footprint that you have on the, what we granted for a variance.
And I'm not sure what you're asking. I'm not sure. There's plenty of parking. Have you been down there?
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
several times.
Okay.
And it's the same, I was there Tuesday or Monday, whatever day, I was there, and it's still the same issue with that road, that there's not enough room for the fire trucks and the ambulance with the way that the cars generally park all the way up through that road. I mean, that was a concern that we talked to you about last time, when you wanted to, have building through there, was, we had a concern for emergency vehicles.
Well, I'm not taking up any more room than any of the neighbors. There's 50, 60 houses along there.
Yeah, I think it's because you're right at the corner,
You
that
already
was one of our,
approved this.
that was one of our concerns.
This was already approved.
But you had a 6,000 plus square foot lot.
It has nothing to do with that parking on that lot.
No, but it has everything to do with the zoning ordinance.
Correct.
You know, so when you originally asked for your variance to build on that site, you had a lot that was in conformance with the rules.
Correct.
So now you're asking to build the same size footprint on a non-conforming lot.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
and that may be something this board may not agree with. I'm just pointing that out.
The bottom line is split your never have the first time, or we shouldn't be here this time.
That's right.
Take your pick. The split shouldn't have happened, the split property were smaller than the required lot. If the lot was already here, it's a non-conforming lot, then we had nothing to do with anything, we put a house on it. Correct?
The split was approved in 18 by Line G, which is a division of land for the sale or exchange of tracts between adjoining landowners, provided that no additional building sites are created other than accessory buildings to the primary tract are created by the division. So this is the split that was, so when we do split reviews, there's options. There's different options that we have.
I thought you could never split a lot, and make it smaller than the required building lot.
You can make a non-conforming split, there are circumstances you have to, grain bins on farms, and there's different, you know, so that's why that line's there that says, now it's a non-conforming lot. So it's not buildable other than accessory, but there's, so here's the, you guys were all sent that as well, so.
It's only 600 square feet short. So how big is this room here? And it's on the south side. It's
It
just,
makes a difference, 10 square feet short, doesn't meet the criteria.
I
for the
understand
lot
that.
size.
And if I was, you know, if I was told that by Doug, I have to go to the area plan. Hey, here's what I wanna do. Area plan's responsibility is to tell me.
Did you propose, did you present this to Doug as, this was what I am proposing to do?
Yes, it's in
Okay,
an
so
email.
if someone comes into my office and says, this is what I'm proposing to do, and then I have to review it, I have to review what they're proposing to me.
Yeah, it's.
So that's,
it's
you
in the email.
proposed this split to Doug, Doug didn't know at the time what your intent was, so if you presented this to him as, at the time, nothing, you know, he didn't draw this, you brought it to him, so he reviewed what he had.
Okay, if you look at page 7, is an email I sent to Doug.
Correct.
Okay. It looks like the SFLAC is gonna want me to put a boat dock at the lake. Only if Carroll County lets me jump off the south 860 feet of the 6,260 square feet original lake lot. I'd like to get all the paperwork done at once so that I can present it to the board, which would be the BZA. Okay? He tells me at the bottom, you don't have to do that. So we do it. So he asked Cindy about it. Which I don't think you knew what was going on.
No,
but-
no.
You don't have to go through the board for a split.
Okay, but shouldn't, I just went through the zoning.
You went
Just-
for a variance for a 6,000 square foot lot, but you don't have to go
I
for a
have the
variance.
footage, I just did the building setback line.
Right, but
Okay.
the board doesn't approve or disapprove of splits, that's what falls under that criteria that's on that. So what you presented to Doug is what he circled.
That's what's circled on the request for split.
But don't you think Doug should have said, you can split that, but you just jumped through all the hoops to get it as a 3,000 square foot building lot. If you do it, you're gonna have two non-buildable lots. The only thing Doug
Right,
said
and yeah,
to me
and I
was,
don't disagree with that, 'cause I don't know what was said, but if it come up as whatever the square footage was, I don't know what your intent was in 2018, so I can't really speak on that, but is it something that I mean, I can't answer that question, other than this was what you brought to him. Should he have said it? I don't know what you guys discussed as the future project in the siding, so
Karen, I have a question.
Sure.
I realize the variances from it's less than 6,000 square feet. Parking in the lot. Wouldn't it be more practical for somebody that was going to build on there to ask for the variance at that point in time? So we knew what was gonna be built on there?
Yes, but I think he's trying to put it out there on the real estate market as a, because nobody's gonna buy it if it's not a buildable lot.
It's technically not a buildable lot right
No,
now.
I realize that.
Right.
So, you know, who wants to buy a lot?
Yeah, so you're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
They still have that same option to ever be.
Right,
They
you
have
buy,
to get a
you buy,
variance.
you buy it, you pay whatever price he has, and then you try to get a variance and you don't get it.
So it's a,
You've got a,
you maybe get it, maybe don't.
you maybe don't,
Correct.
so you spent a
15,000,
lot of money for a pink elephant, so to speak.
So he said he had it listed for 160, but it's not built.
And it takes it down to 15.
and I've got over,
But you're right.
I've probably got 240,000 invested in those three lots. Okay? So I can go, it's 600 square feet, okay? And you guys already approved all the other building setback lines. All I did was take 860 feet a yard off of the south end.
Yeah,
So
but it's,
he's asking two things, one, to be able to build on lots that meet the criteria. And one, number two, he's asking 30-foot front yard rather than 50-foot front yard, and 5-foot rear yard, right?
Well, those have already.
That's already been approved.
That's already been approved.
The previous
I think it's
meeting.
20 from the road.
But those were approved before it was not a.
So the only thing we gotta deal with the fact he's.
Those were
asking to
approved
build on
as a
lots
6,000 square lot.
well, there's a couple things we can do. We could just, well, is there anything else you'd like to present right now?
Well, I'd like to, if I can go to my text message from my daughter, somebody approved a new house, 5,400 square feet, 5,200 square feet, right on the lake. did not go over there.
Is that Carroll County or White County?
Carroll.
That's the
You meet the
petition
setback,
for
you build
this.
where you gonna build. You gotta build a lot, you meet the setback, you build where you want
It's
to.
only 5,200 square feet.
Side house makes no difference, once you make the setback.
The lot or the house?
The lot is
The
50.
lot may have been a legally non-conforming lot that was plotted prior to the
1970.
zoning ordinance.
Could be.
And at that point in time, it is carved in stone that you can build on it, you know, no matter what, because it's
I don't
legally
know,
non-conforming.
They won't come in here.
Whether or not this was legally non-conforming now.
Yeah, but to get grandfathered in, it had to
Yeah,
have
we
been.
did get
when the
grandfathered.
ordinance-
And that would have been prior to any of the splits and anything.
Yeah, so this was split, so as soon as it's split, it's,
That's not the.
anything that was prior to that didn't exist. But prior to the split, it was 6,200 square feet, so it was a legal lot.
And
at that point in
these
time.
were all parceled off, I believe, prior to 1971, so at that time it would have been illegally,
Yeah.
non-conforming to the current ordinance, but it was,
Yeah.
it would have been illegal because it was platted prior to 1971.
You know, so consequently, is there anything you want to present? Because we need to progress on
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I just wanna ask you a question, you wanna sit down. Do you have the authority to give me the variance tonight?
We do, if the board chooses to do so.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know.
And if we choose not to do so, then we have the authority to deny it today.
I understand that.
Or the other option is, we could table it and discuss it at a subsequent meeting. So those are three options that we would proceed. Okay. Thank you. Cameron, staff report and advertising, sign, et cetera.
Correct, everything was properly posted. It was advertised in the comment on July 6th. The sign was, yes, all requirements were met.
Fees
Fees were paid, the sign was put in the yard, and we met all the criteria for.
Okay. All right. So next item we go on to is to conduct a public hearing on this, correct? So at this point in time, we're gonna open the floor for discussion. Anyone in favor who wishes to speak in support of this variance, please come to the podium and be recognized. Oh, something I forgot. Contacts for or against, did we get any, comments other than the letter?
It's happening in your packet.
Other than it's in the letter, so, or.
Other than that, no,
Okay.
so I believe the letter, I had the letter emailed to me that you guys have in your packet.
Okay,
Yep.
that was from, Timothy Oakes, that's how it's pronounced, okay? All right. So, okay, we're gonna open the public hearing. Anyone that speak in favor of the variance, please come to the podium to be recognized. Anybody? Anybody wishing to speak in opposition to the variance, please come to the podium, state your name.
Good evening, members of the board. For the record, my name is Tim Oakes. I am an attorney as well as the owner of the home directly to the north east of this property. You can see it there. And I bought that lot back in 2013 from the Schultz, father and son. Before that, they owned my lot and the lot that Mr. Feldhaus ended up purchasing. He had trailers, from what I understand from my neighbors, on there that he had been leasing out and renting out for years. And he decided to split up those lots. And we went through all of this back in 2017 when Mr. Feldhaus was here for variances the first time. And There's a reason why the Schultz split the lots the way they did, because they created two conforming lots. And when I bought my lot in 2013, the Schultz looked at me and they said, hey, why don't you buy the other one too? And I looked at it and I said, no, that's okay. I'm more than happy to have a neighbor, because I knew that I'm a real estate attorney by practice. I have appeared in front of more than 50 plan commissions and boards of zoning appeals. I looked. I knew the ordinance said 6,000 square foot minimum. It's black and white. It's really, really simple. And Mr. Feldhaus stands up here and goes, oh, shucks, I didn't know. I'm not blaming Doug, but boy, it sure sounded like he did, and that's not fair, because the ordinance is the ordinance. It's really clear. And this is the split he did, and it says really 5,402 square feet. Oh, I didn't know. Bull. You had to know. He has to demonstrate 3 criteria in order to get a development standards variance here. The last criteria, some people call it hardship, state statute calls it practical difficulty. There is none. To the extent he's suggesting there is one, he created it himself. Plain and simple. He bought a lot and wants to make as much money as he can on it. I get that. I don't begrudge anybody ever trying to make a buck. But when you do it in a manner that's contrary to law, when you're harming your neighbors, that's not right and that's not fair. And it's an extraordinarily dangerous precedent to set in Carroll County to allow people to, at best, intentionally ignore the rules and then say, geez, just give me the variance. It's not right. It's not what it's there for. It's there so that people can rely on the ordinance and know and understand what's going to happen around them. The other thing that he left out is, I found after the fact, and the only reason I found out about this is because the split was not the subject of a public hearing, so I didn't get notice. It was done administratively, and in that box he checked, which is a division of land for the sale of exchange of tracts between adjoining landowners, that's when you're adjusting boundaries between 2 neighbors. He split it, he knew what he was doing, he marketed all 3 separately, and thought he was gonna get 3 RVs on there. I talked to the broker afterwards. He's known what he's been doing the whole time. I was at this hearing back in 2017, 2016, and he says, well, would it be all right if I just had my RV out there? I'd really like my grandson to sleep out there. And I heard it, and I said, yeah, that'd be great. I have no qualms with that. And then he's taken it and said, oh, I got approval for a mini RV park. What he says and his behavior do not align. And he just does what he wants to do, and then says, please forgive me. I didn't really know what I was doing. Yeah, he did. There is no practical difficulty here that is not entirely of his making. And when he sold that little carve-off that I didn't know about, and that lot 1B in the back, he sold to the same couple, and I feel bad for them. They paid a ridiculous amount of money for that. Before they closed, 30 days before they closed, sent an email to the broker and to Dan saying, Dan, you can't do that. You can't sell off that little parcel because what's left you can't build on. I told him that before he sold it, and he sold it anyway, because he doesn't care. There is no practical difficulty, 1. 2, this is dangerous. First of all, in the off-street parking provisions of the ordinance, subsection F, the off-street parking for a use cannot be located in the front yard. So Dan says, well, you could just pull up and park there, but you have to have at least the minimum number of parking spaces, off-street parking spaces, more than 20 feet in on the lot. There's no way there's space for that. Not at all. When you got the variances that I was trying to be a nice neighbor, I wanted to see a very nice house next door. So back in 2017, when he got the variance for the setback, I'm thinking, oh, dang, sell that lot for a lot of money, build a really nice house, because that's what's gonna protect my property values. Okay, he got those variances before he did the split. And now he wants to use it so he can cram a house on a lot that doesn't meet the ordinance that he created. And that's not fair to me. The other criteria that's necessary is that it doesn't endanger the public's health, safety, welfare, convenience. When I was before this board, involving these lots before, it was noted, that intersection, as you come down a hill and turn to head north-northeast, 1225 West serves 40 to 45 homes. And you'd be shocked at how busy that intersection is. And now we're trying to cram too much in there without adequate parking, when the people that he already sold Lot 1B and the part of Lot 1A that he impermissibly split off already have to park their RV on the other side, on Lot 1B, and they have to cross the road just to get to the dock every time. And it's dangerous, and he wants to make it worse. That is a hazard to the public's health, safety, welfare, and convenience. And this is gonna impact my property values. He's trying to squeeze too much in. And when I bought my lot, and I spent my hundreds of thousands of dollars on my home, and I pay taxes too, and, you know, good for Dan, I'm happy he pays taxes, I'm happy that everybody pays their taxes. It's irrelevant to this conversation, but when I put that money in the house, I relied on the fact, hey, there can only be one house there, there's only gonna be one dock there, there's only gonna be one family there. We might have friends over, everybody has friends in the lake house, but now it's double. That's not fair. That impacts the use, value, and enjoyment of my property. So, I don't think he needs any of the three criteria, but certainly the practical difficulty, it's all his own doing. Just out of pure greed, not ignorance, greed, and it should be denied. So I'd be happy to answer any questions that the board might have.
Anyone else wish to speak in opposition to the variance? Please come up and state your name, address.
My name is Owen Lavorne. I represent SFLACC, and I don't recall a conversation of having to split that lot for him to put the dock appearance. I can go back through our minutes and verify that, but that's basically all I have to say, so just to bring this conversation. Okay?
Is there, question I have is, why would there be a requirement to split off a parcel of ground?
We don't require split offs.
Any other questions?
Can I have clarification on that? I don't. Did you say I didn't have permission to build the dock?
No. It's this, you stated that we had to split, that we required, we did not require a split.
I went for an easement, and you guys said, no, I have to have a parcel ID. Anyway,
We looked at it as a whole.
they gave me a permit.
Yeah. Okay, any other comments? No. Please,
Comment?
Jim, come up. And please keep it brief.
When Tim was notified that I was gonna split that lot by the realtor, he wrote an email to said, you can't split the original lot was 88 feet. His email said it would be two 44-foot lots that are, so that'd be less than, so he didn't know I split it. I didn't know I had to notify him. Doug said I didn't. Cindy said it was fine. And then he says, well, he didn't get noticed. He thought I was gonna split the 88 feet into two 44-foot lots. which would make 2 residential homes. It's not what I was going for. And he's saying, did you hear him? I'm the crook here, I'm the liar, I'm the one that's trying to tear down the neighborhood. You should have seen it before I got there. Now, he's had his, since 2013, he's had every opportunity to buy that lot. You know what he's doing now? He wants to control it without buying it. For 600 square feet, and then he's saying that I, all this stuff and all that. And I'm not blaming Doug, but I went to every plan to get advice on what I was supposed to do. He said I could split that off, and it would be a non-buildable lot, which led me to believe that I still had a buildable lot. Why would I put it up for sale as a buildable lot? So you can correct.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Any other comments? Hearing none, call the public meeting closed, and we'll move on to discussion from the board. So anybody want to discuss this? I have a couple comments. You know, there's a few courses of action we could review, and this is not what it's limited to. We could approve it as requested. We could deny it as requested. We could modify it and put restrictions on it as requested. You know, or we could table it and continue to another meeting, or to the next meeting. So, board members need to discuss this. What's your thoughts, Doug?
I don't understand why it was split off, and I don't understand that small portion that there in that corner. It does not make any sense ever. Why would you do that? Unless you're trying to make money on lot 1B and give it like access, which doesn't make much sense either. I just don't understand that.
Basically it says in book that here, if you own 3 lots together, you don't have a choice to ask for a smaller lot. And it says basically if you have 3 lots together, you gotta have 6,000 square feet to build on. If I've got a 44-foot lot, and I have a 44-foot lot beside it, and I need 60-foot wide, I've gotta combine the lots to build. I can't build anything on 44. If I own 20 lots, and that's what it says,
You can build on the joining lots.
You can join,
I can only build one.
you have to match your outside setbacks.
Yeah.
If you own 3 lots, it goes by the outside setbacks.
Yeah, but you can't build on each one of the 3 lots, they're all too small.
Yeah, you wouldn't have enough room, but so you could go between it as long as you make your outside setbacks from the furthest out lot.
But I believe it says in there, if you own a 20 lot, you have to be the square footage. If you own 3 lots there, and you can't build on all 3 of them, or all 3 of them smaller than the size of it. I believe it says in there that, if you own a 20 lot, you cannot build on a lot, simple as that.
One piece across the road, so that, you just have the 2 lots.
But what's happened is those have been sold. You know, so the small portion of,
Those are out of the picture now.
I know.
small portion of 1A is sold, and and 1B is sold, so consequently, the only thing we have here to look at is the large remaining portion of lot 1A, which is, 5,402 square feet, which was divided after the zoning ordinance took effect, which makes it a non-conforming lot, and smaller than the required lot size for Lake Resort District.
You were gonna build on that lot, and it's an odd shaped lot in several aspects. I can't see putting anything bigger than 2,000 square foot house on there. There's no way. And still have adequate parking. It wouldn't fit. So there'd have to be some major restrictions.
Yeah, with minimum lot sizes, with sanitary sewer